everyone. It's my great honor to be speak for Computex 2021. And my name is Cassie Ye. I'm the Principal PM Group Manager from Cloud and AI Engineering Group here in Microsoft. I'm also responsible for IoT Innovation Center based in Taiwan. So today I'm going to share with you our perspective about the tech intensity, how to enable Taiwan to achieve more. So people are talking about the digital transformation. In a matter of fact, it's our daily job to working with the enterprise and also the partner around the world, help them and also help us for the digital transformation. But what exactly the digital transformation? So before we go deeper, let's talking about the basic definition of the digital transformation. So it's really about to using the digital competence or the technology to drive disruptive change. Specific when it's using a technology like cloud technology, business intelligence, AI, enterprise mobility, and the social media. So it's really about technology, isn't it? So let's taking the manufacturer as an example. Because for the IoT Innovation Center here, we have transformed our focus from general IoT go to the industrial IoT. And manufacturing segment is the area we are seeing dramatic digital transformation happen in this segment. So a lot of manufacturing, they are facing the challenge because the consumer behavior is changing. So they need to change their manufacture nature from the mass production go to the highly customized production. So let's push them. They need to be more agile when they do the new product introduction. So we are seeing more and more manufacturers, they are using IoT and AI for them to really do the so-called value analysis when it comes to their production line. And the other thing is you see like the Great Rhino and also the Black Swan. So what would be the Great Rhino and the Black Swan happen in past few years? That's COVID-19, and also the China and US trade war. So because of the trade war issue, we are seeing a lot of manufacturers, they also want to reduce the challenge from the tax increasing. So they start to moving around their manufacturing base, not just focus on China. They need to really diversifying their manufacturing space. So they started to building up the so-called pop-up factory outside of China, maybe back to Taiwan or move to Vietnam, Malaysia, and even close to the market, go to US and Europe. So we are seeing those manufacturers, they start to using the IoT as a technology to build their digital plan. So they start to using the IoT and AI technology to do the quality impact inspection, to also to collect the data from their manufacturing equipment to ensure they can have like the better OEE in their production, in their shop floor. But in the same time, because COVID-19, people are no longer to travel around the world. So they need to have the more creative way to really do the customer engagement. So you are seeing the customer, they are enterprise, they are start to using the augmented reality technology and also Microsoft HoloLens to do the remote assistant. So taking a leading semiconductor like TSMC as an example, they allow one of their equipment vendor to using the augmented reality technology to do the remote assistant. That's allow them, even those equipment vendor, they are not allowed to travel to Taiwan, but still they can do the remote assistant to do the training, to do the equipment maintenance, and also to ensure all those EUV equipment can be work like normal. But in the same time, we're also seeing a lot of machine builder, they start to using those remote assistant, help their customer around the world to set up the new machinery production line to do the new business customer service. So let's just some of the example from the manufacturing side. So people agree the digital transformation is a story of the technology. So people are counting on those technology to deliver the business value. So it's need to building up the system of intelligence. So people heard about IoT, people heard about the AI, analytics, blockchain, and also both, right? So all those technology are coordinated and linked together on top of the trusted cloud platform. So the trusted cloud platform allows you to really connect the data from your customer, from your employee, from your daily operation, and also from your product. Let's create a digital feedback loop, help you to really do the better intelligent analysis about how can you make your service better, how can you make your product better, and how can you empower your employee when they are even out of office, they can still support the business operation just like normal things. But above all, the digital transformation is beyond technology. It's a story about people and trust and partnership. Microsoft is the one who knows the power of the ecosystem best. So taking IoT example, we actually counting on the best partner ecosystem to help the IoT industrial from the incubation go to the mainstream. So it's really across the board. We need to start to incubate on the developer. Let's developer and the developer community is across proprietary and go to the open source. And we also need to build rest of the IoT device ecosystem. It's including a lot of familiar names, for example, like Advantech and NASCOM. They are the Taiwan-based company. So those device partner, they are one of the biggest contributors for the IoT ecosystem. And solution provider, those ISV who know the domain well. So if you look at the whole name list here, you are seeing the ABB, Schneider, and Rockwell Automation. Those companies, they have been in the industry, or the OT industry, for decades. So we are also partnership with those domain experts to build a solution to support the different vertical. But when it's come to land it into the real enterprise side to do the deployment, and we are working with the global and also regional leader for the system integrator to really help and our enterprise to really adopt all those technology. So let's talk about Taiwan. Microsoft has been invested and also counting on the partnership here in Taiwan over 3 decades. So back to 32 years ago, Microsoft set up the Taiwan office. And along the 32 years, we have been working with 2,400 partners in Taiwan to build the so-called ecosystem. So those 2,400 partners joined Microsoft for the digital transformation journey. We start to build up the so-called Wintel and the PC ecosystem. And I think everyone agrees it's actually helped Microsoft to really realize our dream to having everyone at least have one PC and laptop on their desk. In a matter of fact, the people have more than that. But just recently, we are seeing the whole Taiwan ecosystem is also transforming their business from just a PC device go to cloud and also intelligent edge. So all the technology has been realized, and we see the potential in Taiwan. So we start to invest heavily our R&D engineering resources here in Taiwan. Back to 2016, we started the IoT Innovation Center here in Taiwan to incubate the broader ecosystem and also help the regional, the Asia customer to start their digital transformation journey. And starting from the 2018, we set up the IoT R&D Center. So we recruit and hire more than 100 or even several hundreds engineers to devote themselves into the research and also development of the computer vision, business intelligence, the Bing search, and also map technology. And go to 2019, we see the importance to incubate those startups, the young generation. So we start up the accelerator as service to really provide the program and also a lot of support for those startup companies. And just what happened last year is we even announced to set up the Asia Data Center region here in Taiwan. And in the same time, also announced to set up the Asia hardware system and infrastructure team here in Taiwan. That's the largest engineering group outside of America. So all the investment and commitment we are having here in Taiwan, basically we see the value. We really appreciate the tech capability, the digital capability we are seeing here in Taiwan. But in the same time, I also want to call out one term, tech intensity. So tech intensity, I want to take quote from our CEO, Satya Nadella. The equation of tech intensity is the tech adoption and the tech capability, but on the basis of trust. So why is it important about the tech adoption? I think the most of partner and also the vendor here in Taiwan, because we carry a very strong heritage from the ODM model. So, we always are proud of we can really do whatever our customer needed, and we can provide the most cost-effective, the CP value, the best CP value for our customer. However, for the long times, we don't really care about the so-called user experience, right? Yeah, so when this comes to the tech intensity, I do see the whole Taiwan industry is transforming. People are no longer just care about the capability. People start to thinking about, so what's the user experience I want to bring up to my customer? Because you can see the whole supply chain is changing. We are no longer seeing the long supply chain. We are seeing the short supply chain. So that means you have to understand more about your customer demand to really understand what the user experience from your customer. Then you can really look ahead. You can have the vision to really understand about what kind of device, what kind of technology is really needed by the customer around the world. But in the same time, why I want to highlight the tech adoption here is all the technology digitalization is the trigger, is also the powerhouse for you to really transform your business, to transform your personal, to transform your business, and to transform the whole nation. So that's why I want to call out here is the tech intensity is really you need to think about the tech adoption and also the tech capability. When I'm talking about the trust, without the trust, you won't believe anything. So you have to trust your technology. You also need to trust your partner because you need to ensure your partner won't be your competitor in some day. So last, I want to conclude my presentation by talking about the digital culture. And in a matter of fact, I'm always seeing all the common challenges and the myths happen in our daily work. The CEO and all the chairmen, the business leader, they are so crazy about, I want to do the digital transformation, and they want to see the result, they want to see the impact in 2 years. But when it's come to more like a longer term, like 5 years, 10 years, it's some kind of hard for them to envision how can they really define their success. So I want to call out here is be more agile and don't afraid of the failure. Start fast, but you can allow to do the failure fast. And the second would be, people are talking about, I want to transform my business from the product and hardware-centric, go to the service. But I always ask them, so can you start to price your added value service? You need to give a price tag for your added value service. Otherwise, you are never able to transform your product-centric thinking, go to the customer-centric business model. And the third one is people are still having concern to put the production data on the cloud. However, I think ironically, I always seeing a lot of like sales director, they are using social media to do the quotation and to do the pricing and over the spec over the time, right? So I would highly recommend those the enterprise to leverage the digital technology, to leverage the cloud, to use all the resources on the cloud. Let's help you to really accelerate your digital transformation path. And the fourth one is really about data. A lot of people are talking about AI. They are forming the different AI pilot project within their enterprise, within their company. However, they still struggle about the data silo. So the first of all is respect the data. So making your decision based on the scientific data, starting from the culture and your daily usage. That's probably the very first step for you to build your so-called data-centric and to supporting your AI for further analytics. And last but not least, people are thinking about, oh, I am so open, so I'm open for the external partner. I'm open for international talent. However, when it comes to the cost, people are still, oh, let's try the in-house resource. However, because people are thinking about the timing is the money, right? So how can we really do the collaboration to leverage the external talent, to leverage the external partner who can help you to really accelerate the path for you to build all those systems. So thanks for all your listening. So let's work together to do more digital transformation by cross-domain, cross-country, and cross-generation. Thank you.